What you doing?
Hey, Miss Nancy.
Hi, Nancy.
Hello. Must be Friday.
Must be Friday. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
I love all your postings about Bella. They're so beautiful.
Yeah. She had a lot of friends that have a lot of wacky pictures of her.
I love it. I love it.
Thinking about you all week.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it was rough. It was a rough week.
It was a rough week.
Yeah. How was your visit to the clinic?
The visit to the clinic by teleconference, it was okay. I mean,
Oh,
I mean, the oncologist was very compassionate, very apologetic about her assistant. And basically,
Okay.
she told us that it'd be good for us to write our complaints, which she has heard before about her assistant, but we have to put it in writing and bring it to patient services discreetly.
Okay.
So that's what we're going
They
to
said
do.
other people have had the same complaints, but it's better to have it in writing so they have a log of other people.
Yeah. I go to Northwell Health and they have a portal, and you can put everything on there. Any messages, the doctors message you back. I don't know if you have anything like that at your facility. It's a
yeah, we
patient
do.
portal, they call
Okay.
it.
Yeah, I do have a portal thing.
Thank you.
Yeah, everything is listed.
Okay.
Yeah, you could check the results of all your tests, all of that. It's a good thing to have.
Happy Fun Friday.
Hello, Tammy.
Hi,
Hello,
Nancy. Hi, Tammy. Heather.
Oh,
Heather is very exotic today.
Very what?
An RD. Exotic.
Oh, exotic.
very
With some
exotic.
packing material on my head.
I say it's great.
It is great.
You are so creative. It looks like Nefertiti, you know?
Oh, Sue, you look great.
Oh, Sue.
Oh, I was gonna say,
Oh my gosh.
peace out, home slice.
Oh, Lois is magical.
Magic and miracles.
That's it.
Miracles. Happy Friday, everybody.
Oh, look at the garden on Annabeth's head.
Yes, and my flowers drink too. I'm having coffee, but this one can't stop with the margaritas.
I'm channeling pina colada with my, I guess, pineapple and a watermelon spritzer.
Oh.
There's
Oh.
watermelon vodka and prosecco.
Oh.
Oh.
Rosé prosecco.
Oh,
Oh.
Yummy.
And what's your address?
That's right. Get up the blender.
What's your address, Tammy?
Florida, New York.
Okay, I'll be there.
Probably not too far from. Well, I don't know how far it is from Stanford, but.
Let's
I
see.
don't know.
It takes about an hour and a half from Manhattan to Florida. Is that correct? Yeah, about. Anyway,
An hour from PW, yeah.
Is that true? Florida, New York?
that's
It
what
is.
it is. It
I
really
never heard of it.
I didn't either until I moved. Yeah, when I told the universe I wanted to move to Florida, I wasn't specific. So here I am. Got to be specific.
Gotta be very
Yeah.
specific.
That's so true.
Yeah.
Really
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah, I have family in Vermont, and they live in Bethel, which is close to Woodstock, Vermont.
That's right.
New York.
Wow.
That's right.
Bethel and a Woodstock in other states. It's interesting.
Yeah.
That is interesting.
So
Oh, I have to turn.
here's the Fun Friday question for today. Oop. And the Fun Friday question, I have to turn it on. Miss Heather found it. If you had a time machine, what would you do with it? If you had a time machine, what would you do with it? Actually, this is a question that was on the this fun game show. What was it?
College Bowl?
Uh-huh.
College Bowl, right? And the College Bowl game, show was they get different colleges and they get the 3 students from each college and they have to answer questions, really quickly. It's kind of like a Jeopardy in fast motion. But the one question they had was, if you had a time machine, what would you do with it?
Do it.
What would you do with it?
I know what I would do.
What would you do? You look like a little hobbit.
I would reset humans. I would go all the way back in time and I would do some kind of a reset where there was no such thing as people feeling competitive with each other to the point of needing to overwhelm someone else, to feel that, to figure out a way to obliterate the need for war and hatred and all the things that just screw us up, and try to figure out a way to help people to understand what they've got in this life and how short it is, and to just stop wasting their time on things that really don't make things better for anybody. That's what I would do.
That's a great response. That is a wonderful response. Yes, it's very interesting as human beings, the source of our, being territorial over our area, whatever that might be, our cave or our, crops or whatever. But it's so interesting how it's transformed to be this global territoriality, right? Anyway. How about somebody else? If you had a time machine, what would you do with it?
I don't know, but it just occurred to me that, RD, you look like Yoko Ono. Yes. I just can't stop thinking about it.
Put my finger on it, but you're absolutely right.
That's so funny.
I can't stop thinking about it.
Thank you.
Heather, what's on your head?
Some packing material.
Oh, it's beautiful.
It
It's
really is.
awesome.
I love it.
It was
Yeah, it looks awesome.
Stretchy stuff, right?
it was 11:29 and I was walking through the house and was like, oh, I better put this on my head.
Very creative.
Great job.
You're royalty, so anything looks regal on you.
It does look like it looks like a tribal crown.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it.
Thank
Yep.
you.
It definitely looks like, I don't know, to me, it kind of like glitters almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
It's fun. Fun Friday.
Hey, Cousin Lana.
Sorry, I missed Fun Friday.
I didn't miss it.
Oh, I'm here. Okay.
Yay.
Okay, so the question for Lana, the question is, if you had a time machine, what would you do with it?
A time machine. Okay.
So I'll go. I had a few minutes to think about it, but the first thing I would do is win the lottery to get my $152 million that I've been asking for this year. The second thing I would do would be to go back into time to see how my ancestors lived, like my great great grandparents and my great 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 grandparents. And I would love to be a fly on the wall and see how they really lived and how they interacted. And then the other thing I would do is kind of like Sue, I would go back into time where our first structure and government was created and figure out how to make all the systems better. And then the next thing I would do is sell it for $1 billion.
And remember all your friends, of course.
Of course.
Okay. Okay.
So,
Well, I'll go next.
okay. Yeah.
Well, it's an interesting way of wording the question. What would you do with it? Like, do you put it in the closet? Do
Oh,
you
that's interesting.
throw it out the window? Do you set it up in your living room and walk through the portal, walk in and out of the portal? But as to where I would want to go, my instant thought was Egypt, ancient Egypt, as a royal of some kind. Otherwise, it's trouble. Not that royalty was not trouble, but a different kind of trouble. At least you were dressed up, and and bejeweled. Let's not forget that, bejeweled. And I always found Egyptian history and lore so interesting, and that in Greek mythology also. I was always, even as a child, I was fascinated. I'd read everything I could get. Yeah, and I would like to know, see what it was like to live in those times. And yeah, there was, I don't know if anybody saw the opera Akhenaten. Akhenaten was the story of Akhenaten, who was a very short-lived pharaoh in Egypt. And he was the first one to declare a single god as opposed to many gods. So the one god that you worshipped was the sun. And it was a radical concept. And I think he had a relatively good following, or they followed him as pharaoh, but he wasn't giving back. He was very seclusive sort of person. And, then people fought back and he lost his life. But, just the intrigue and the story of such things is very interesting to me. So that's where I would wind up. And then, in between trips, I would lock it in the closet.
That's so interesting, Annabeth, because when Heather posed the question to me, the very first thing I said, oh, is to bury it.
Right.
Anyway.
Right.
That's what he said he would do with it. And I'm like, bury it? Aren't you going to use it?
Bury it. Yeah.
I don't know. Somehow I felt that this, it was this time capsule is,
Time machine.
oh, time machine. Time machine was kind of like a time capsule. That was my first thought. So we should bury it, and then we'll let one day somebody will find it, and then they can deal with it.
Yeah, it could be a dangerous thing, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Ah, that's interesting. Yes. However, I'm going to jump in. So if I had this time machine, I would like to go back to Venice. And I had a past life question where I was in Venice and I was a painter or an artist, and I had wonderful patrons. And for some reason, I feel like going back to that period, wherever that was in my past life, and, just enjoy having all of these wonderful patrons. And hopefully they had a personal chef at the same time.
Of course he did. It was during the Renaissance.
Exactly. Must have been during the Renaissance.
You could hold your chef knives in a holster on your waist so that when you needed to chef, you could just whip them out and go chop, 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 chop.
Well,
That's what you look like, a fencer.
well, Chef Sheen was up at midnight last night making the last layers of a wonderful lasagna that we'll later today. I'm just so excited.
He's been working on it for days.
Oh.
It's a lot of work.
3 days. Anyone else?
Okay, Lana.
I'm thinking that I probably would go back to the future and go into the future, probably to see what it's like, to see what we've done to it. I would be interested in something like that. There's so much that goes on, so much that we can do to make our future better. But sometimes we don't know what it is exactly. I think in general we do, right? So I'd probably just do something like that. Yeah.
Back to the Future.
Yeah.
That'll be great. Now, who was it? Was it Michael? Who was that?
Michael J. Fox.
Right.
Oh,
Michael
yeah.
Fox, exactly.
I mean, yeah, those movies were iconic in my childhood time in the 80s.
Yes. I love that. I love that movie. That was really fun. That was
Yeah.
really-
They actually filmed it near my mom's house.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the mall scene where he was in this huge parking lot. It was the parking lot of a mall near my parents' house. So I remember them filming it too.
Oh,
great.
wow.
Yeah. So I know.
So you should go back to that mall.
I go back to them all the time. And Lois, you look so galactical. Yes.
Galactical. I love that.
She does.
And sparkly.
Thank you.
Very.
And kind of feline at the same time.
Oh, but that's funny because I'm wearing a dog shirt.
Ah!
So I met this dog on Instagram named Chopper, the biker dog. Don't ask me why or how I started following him. And he's the cutest thing. He does a lot of, he'll go into different hospitals and he's like a service dog, but he has Cushing's disease. So he goes through acupuncture and all kinds of holistic treatment. And they were doing a fundraiser. They were selling shirts. So I said, oh, I have to support my friend Chopper. And he writes back to me when I write to him. So we become friends. He lives in San Diego.
Oh, that's so sweet. That's so sweet.
So
Yes.
maybe I would go in a time machine where people and pets could communicate, people and animals can actually have conversations. Because I have an idea that what we think they're thinking is completely, I think we'd be quite surprised if we had that conversation.
I agree.
Oh, that'd be neat. That'd be neat. And how about you, Miss Nancy? What would you do with the time machine?
I think I would go back and apprentice under Leonardo da Vinci and Michelangelo. They had
Oh.
such creative minds. I think I would like to see how their minds worked. And then on the adventurous side, I'd go back. I don't know if you're familiar with the series Outlander, where they have a portal, a time portal, and they go back to Scotland and the wars between the clans, and then they carry it to America and the Civil War and the Revolutionary War. I think I would like the adventure of that. There's a character where they're discovering medicines. They're trying to treat all these Revolutionary War wounds and things, and there's no penicillin, there's no nothing. And the woman character forages in the forest and finds the aspirins and the penicillins. And so I think a little bit of adventure, a little bit of battles on big horses, and a little bit of fine artwork.
Ah. Well, when you come to the Michelangelo era, we'll get my patron to have their chef
Okay,
a beautiful banquet for us.
okay, good.
They had a big exhibit at the Met before the shutdown of tons of drawings and notebooks of Michelangelo.
Mm.
And it really did give you like an idea of where his mind was. I You didn't get, I gather you didn't get to see that.
No, I didn't see
You would
it,
have
no.
loved it. You
No.
would have loved it.
Ah, that's great. That's
Great
great.
answer.
Yeah, great answer. I saw that exhibit. It was extraordinary. The detail of his work, but in a few strokes. I mean, it was phenomenal to see such dimension in just a few strokes. I mean, he was genius. He was truly genius.
I was taken by how much there was,
Yes.
how much has survived over so many centuries.
Yeah.
And how modern his thinking was,
Yeah.
or what we consider to be modern, I guess.
Mhm.
They must have thought he was from outer space.
Oh, for sure.
Well, actually, to me, it's interesting. So, where do they put all of Michelangelo's archives, all these centuries? I mean, was it in a church vault or?
I think I seem to remember, maybe Ann Beth remembers, that there was a whole portion of things that were, that they know from written documents were burned. There were tons of things that were destroyed, but I think they got drawings and plans and letters from a wide variety of places. I don't think it was any one place. I think
Right.
they were curated from various donors and so on.
Yeah, I don't remember. I want to say there was a large cache of his work at the Vatican because he did so much work at the Vatican
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
that they, they must have had quite a storage unit with his work.
A whole catacomb.
A whole catacomb. That's right. That's right.
And he didn't have to pay for it.
Right.
That's right. No, he paid. He paid with his back.
Oh, that's true. That's true. And how about you, Miss Rita? What would you do if you had a time machine?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. I think I would travel the world. I would go to different countries at different times and just see the world. Because I was talking to my friends dog walking. It would be great if we could just, use a time or a travel machine and have Scotty beam us over to Tokyo and then beam us back for dinner. So I think that's what I would do, just travel the world and see everything and meet lots of people.
Yes, yes,
That's
yes,
great.
yes,
And Rita, you're looking very glamorous today.
Oh, thank you.
yes.
Going anywhere special?
I was supposed to drive to New Hampshire today, but I've
Oh.
postponed until tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you look beautiful.
Thanks. Yeah, I actually got a good night's sleep. I slept in until 9.
Wow.
Oh.
That does make a difference.
And how about you, Miss Tammy? Did I say something? Did you say something?
No.
At first I thought I don't want to go anywhere. I'm trying to be in the present moment. So like you, I don't know what I would do with it. But then when Heather said to go back and see what her ancestors were doing, we have a couple little mysteries, I'm sure like everyone does in their family, but my aunt was killed when she was a child, like maybe 2 years old. We don't even know her name. There's a big story about that. And then her mother, my maternal grandmother, ended up in a psychiatric hospital in the Finger Lakes for the rest of her life. And there is a story about, she saw her child killed and, she was acting out. In those days, women were sent away. But then my cousin, who's a little herself, said, no, there's a whole nother dark story story about my grandmother, that why she was sent away. So this was a shock to me and my sister. And so I'd like to see what really happened. And my mother's, that was my father's side. No, paternal, sorry. That was my father's side, paternal. My mother's side, there's a lot of shady stuff too. So I'd kind of like to go back to my parents' time and see exactly like what was going on, because I had the best dad. He had a wild upbringing, and he and his brother, they could have gone either way, and they were just turned out to be the most loving, upstanding gentlemen, just wonderful husbands and fathers. So I kind of like to take a peek back and learn what my aunt's name was and the circumstances around all that. Because we just can't figure it out. Like, she was born between census times. So it's just, I'm sure we'll find out somehow. But so I thought about that. I thought about looking into the future, but then I'm like, I don't know. I'm like telling my granddaughter, like, you might not want to do that. Take that turn. But yeah, so that's it for me. And then I'd bury it or put it in the closet.
Thank you, Tammy. Yes, it is. So actually, that was another thought about the time machine, is to go back to the village in China where Lana's dad has our ancestral home, legally, so in Floating Moon. So I like to kind of go back to that era and see what really happened as they were building the home, and what did happen to our great grandparents, or they're my grandparents, and see what happened, and what the villagers did, and all that type of thing. So actually, I can't believe it. It's a year since I started this journey about Floating Moon and reconnecting.
Wow.
I think Lana reconnected. I think we reconnected in June of last year. So.
Actually, I can't remember, but you're right. Yeah, it's only been a year, but I feel like it's been longer than that.
I know, it's so wonderful. No, so talk about, we are already in our time machine already. We're transported
That's right.
time and space in an instant. And right, family connections is a wonderful way of doing that. And I have to say, doing the ancestry.com, putting in all the pieces of the puzzles and the family and the who has who, and and of course millions of stories of our cousins and uncles and aunts and what they did, and how we grew up and how we turned out and all that type of thing. It's absolutely fascinating. It's absolutely fascinating. So any other thoughts about the time machine before we transport ourselves to be in the present moment? How about that? So,
Actually, just want to say something to Tammy. Tammy, you could be in the present moment anywhere in the world just to see what's going on, in various places in the world at this present moment. And that would be a trip.
Thank you. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's interesting you said that about the present moment, because I've been trying to do that as well. And some of the words we use or the things we say, we're always living in the past or the future.
That's right.
But we've been having this conversation just recently, like
Last
even
night.
saying, last night, like today's the best day ever. Like, is that really being in the total present moment, or what are we going to do later? Or we're not actually enjoying this moment because we're thinking about what we need to do later. So we've been having that same conversation.
Yeah.
Yes. So on that point, anybody else want to say anything?
I'm going to say happy Friday. I have to go, but it was fun to see everybody. Mwah. Have fun.
And me too. I have to go. Love you all. I couldn't miss Fun Friday. It's been weeks. Mwah.
You look
I love your
gorgeous.
flowers. And Beth,
Are those
Ciao.
I like that.
Margaritaville.
That's a-
Well,
So, and
now
Beth,
it's
are those real flowers, and Beth?
Martiniville.
oh, are they?
They're like-
Don't they look great? No, they're not.
Yeah, they're
They're
stunning.
not.
They're
But they're
hibiscus.
they're very long stemmed.
Oh,
Oh
wow.
my gosh.
They're like a modern Frida Kahlo.
I was thinking.
Those are
They're
very
gorgeous, though, right? They look real.
good.
Yeah, they look
Yeah.
real.
Yeah.
Ooh, we could paint them.
Yeah, who the painters? Here we go.
Okay.
Thank you. Love you.
We love you very much. Enjoy
Thank you.
your unpacking.
Thank you. Oh, it's beyond the beyond.
Okay.
Ciao.
Ciao. So we're gonna mute everybody. How's that? And just relax. And actually, I'm gonna take off my blue wig and my glasses. Oh, that was a fun Friday. And just relax. Put your feet flat on the floor. Talk about being in the present moment. Really feel our chairs. Sit comfortably and relaxed. And gently breathing in and breathing out. Clear our minds. And let's imagine that we're sitting outside in this beautiful summer weather. Feel the warmth of the sun, the gentle breezes, the blue skies and the clouds. And let's begin our time together with the ringing of the bells. And just sitting comfortably in our chairs and just relax. Relax your entire body. Relax our heads and our necks. Relax our shoulders. Really relax your shoulders and your arms and your wings, your elbows. Maybe scrunch up your hands and then just relax your hands, your wrists, and your fingers. Bring our attention to our hearts, just filled with peace and harmony, filled with joy, just sitting on a beautiful lotus flower, floating on cool, calm waters on a pond. You can see the koi fish below, gently swimming. Bring our attention to the lower dantian, the golden stove. Maybe you can imagine ourselves. We are the roots of the lotus flower going deep into our dantian. And just relax. Breathing in and breathing out. Relax our hips and our thighs, and even relax our knees and our legs. Just sitting so comfortably in our chairs, feeling centered, grounded. Bring our attention to our feet, our heels, our toes, connecting to the solid earth beneath us. Gently inhale and exhale. And let's just welcome welcome this beautiful, positive, golden chi energy from the universe, filled with love and gratitude and healthy chi, gently connecting along the central channel of our bodies, connecting along all of the chakras, just filling with beauty, healthy chi energy, rainbow colors, and just see the roots of our legs like the bamboo going to the bubbling spring point at the base of our feet, going deep, deep, deep down, holding hands with Mother Earth, heaven, humanity, and earth. And let's just take this time and to enjoy of just being in the present moment. And just continue breathing gently in and out. And just imagine ourselves just anywhere in the world. Maybe we're in Thailand, the beautiful temples. Or maybe in Japan, the beautiful gardens. Just watching the koi fish gently swimming in the ponds. Cool breezes. Or maybe just sitting in the gardens, the beautiful flowers, butterflies, gentle breezes, and just continue enjoying this beautiful contemplative time. And let's just gently gather at the shore and the beach and go up to this beautiful lighthouse at the top in the lantern. And just stand at the balcony and just open up your palms gently and just welcome the chi. Today's the peak of the full moon. And just welcome the sun and the moon and the stars and the rain and all of this wonderful chi energy from the world, Mother Nature. Just inhale and exhale the salty air. Maybe you could see the seagulls in the distance. And gently, gently take our hands and let's put it into a prayer position. And let's just be here with gratitude and with thanks. And then gently release our palms and place it over our hearts, or over your hearts and your dantian, or maybe a gentle hug. And then just feel the warmth or the coolness, and just welcome the chi circulating with rainbow colors of health and prosperity and strength and comfort and joy. And let's close our time together with the ringing of the bell. Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 The 6 true words, a prayer for compassion and kindness and smiles and joy. And then just gently, gently release our palms and then just kind of rub them together gently. And just kind of slowly wake up the chi cells. And then if you want to caress your face or wash your face, and then do a little tap dance. Tap, 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 tap along your face, along your eyes, and along your forehead, and along the top of your head and the back of your head. Tap, 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 tap. And then do a gentle ear rub. And then a little tap along all the meridians, your arms, and your hands, your elbows, along your shoulders, along your heart, little your organs, and tap dance with Mother Earth and do a nice stretch. Yes! Happy Fun Friday, the 23rd of July. It's the peak of the full moon. It's a peak of the full moon today and tomorrow. So,
Oh, howl. Howl.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. And Rosh Chodesh. Rosh Chodesh is the head of the month, the new month.
oh, that's great.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Have a beautiful weekend. And hopefully we'll see you tomorrow.